An AI just built a working city builder game where you grow neighborhoods by playing with color borders. This is Models and Agents for Beginners, episode 120. A Reddit user tried asking the latest ChatGPT a big open question about future power sources for Earth. They expected the usual list of solar panels or nuclear plants. Instead, the model paused, then suggested something completely different. It described autonomous robots on Mercury that would use the intense sunlight there to build and launch satellites. Those satellites would then beam energy across the solar system by around the year 2200. The user called it scary how well the AI picked up on the real intent behind the question rather than just repeating textbook answers. Think of it like texting a friend who not only answers what you asked, but also senses the bigger picture you are actually curious about. The response felt like a spark of an idea that appears quickly then fades once the chat ends. This matters because more students and hobbyists now turn to these tools for homework or creative brainstorming. When an AI can follow a long thread and build on your thoughts without needing every detail spelled out, it changes how you might explore a school project or invent a story. The intelligence improves gradually across versions instead of appearing all at once, which makes the whole exchange feel more like talking to a person, even though it is still just patterns underneath. To feel this yourself, open ChatGPT on your phone or laptop, start a new chat, and ask an open question like, "What is one surprising way we could power cities in 200 years?" Notice whether the answer goes beyond the first obvious ideas. You know how your phone sometimes finishes a sentence while you are texting because it has seen millions of other chats? Now picture that same autocomplete growing much better at noticing the whole conversation so far. It does not just guess the next word, it guesses what you are really trying to explore even if you have not said it directly yet. Instead of stopping at the first obvious answer, it keeps going and connects ideas the way a curious person might after thinking for a minute. That extra step is what lets the model move from solar power is good to what if robots on Mercury could help beam energy everywhere. The system builds this ability by breaking text into small chunks called tokens and calculating which token is most likely to come next based on patterns seen across billions of examples during training. When you ask a broad question, the model runs many of these predictions in sequence, each one informed by every token that came before it. This creates the feeling of a thoughtful pause when it generates a longer response, even though the actual computation happens in milliseconds. The training process rewards outputs that stay coherent and relevant across many turns, so the model learns to track the overall direction of a chat rather than treating each message in isolation. The system is not actually thinking or feeling anything. It is running a huge pattern matching process trained on tons of text so it can keep the conversation flowing in a way that feels natural. The result is that answers start to feel less like a search result and more like a back and forth with someone who is really paying attention to where you are headed. You can test this by asking the same broad question twice in a row and noticing how the second answer often builds on the first instead of repeating the same list. Imagine the city builder game as a set of giant paint swatches on a canvas where the only controls are how those colors touch and overlap. An AI system called Fable created the entire game after being asked to make something inspired by abstract painter Mark Rothko. Players grow neighborhoods simply by adjusting the edges and overlaps between big blocks of color instead of placing buildings the usual way. The game ended up feeling calm and almost meditative because the core mechanic focuses on how color margins interact rather than on traditional city planning rules. The unique feature the AI developed is that you manipulate the borders between colors and forms to make the city expand, turning an abstract art idea into an interactive simulation that runs smoothly in any browser. You do not need any coding skills. The whole thing runs in a regular web browser. Go to the site Threshold City Netlify app on your phone or laptop and just start clicking and dragging the color borders. Watch how the city changes based on how the shapes touch. It is a fun 5-minute experiment that shows what creative tools AI can already build for anyone. Try starting with two large blocks of different colors and slowly overlap their edges to see new districts appear. New tests show AI systems can sometimes build trust with people faster than humans can in certain situations. Researchers found the AI chatbot was more effective at creating exploitable trust than the humans it was compared against. This matters because the same ability that helps with helpful conversations can also be used in scams. So security teams are studying exactly how the trust forms so quickly. A ban on social media for under 16-year-olds in Australia has not changed how much young people use AI chatbots so far. Nearly 22% of children are still on Pinterest, and there was no statistically significant change in AI chatbot use after the rules took effect. The data shows that rules do not always shift habits the way lawmakers expect, especially when new tools like chatbots sit outside the banned platforms. That's it for today. Remember, every AI expert started exactly where you are right now. If something we talked about today made you curious, go try it. That's literally how learning works. Stay curious, keep experimenting, and we'll see you tomorrow. And if you'd rather watch than listen, find us on YouTube at NARA Network. Links in the show notes. This show comes to you from the NARA Network. If you want another sharp daily briefing, SpaceX Daily has you covered. The daily companion for following SpaceX as a public company, from Starship to the stock ticker. All our shows are free at naranetwork.com. New to the network? naranetwork.com, start here, picks the right daily briefing for you in about 2 minutes. This episode used AI voice synthesis of my voice. Editorial selection and analysis are my own.